not, but I just had to fix my phone. So anyway, come on in. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Welcome to my channel. Come on in. I'm going to fix my lighting a little bit more. Hold on. It's just a little too dark in here. I got to be able to see the cards to read them, right? All right, come on in, Aries, my fire kickers. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're doing well. We're going to see what's in the cards for you for the end of March into April of 2026. All right, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. I said that. Spirit guides, universe, angels, ancestors, possible friends of Aries who may have passed over, the higher galactic beings that might be overseeing active divination after all, and the ascended masters. Please come in tonight and help guide and give us a message for their best and highest good in a way that we can all understand. Please and thank you. They're in the house. I can feel them coming in. They're flocking. Your guides and angels and everybody, they're flocking in. First card out, trapped. Somebody feels stuck. No options, unforgiveness. Yeah, well, if you're unforgiving, you're going to stay trapped. You got to get rid of that. That's first and foremost, right off the bat, Aries. Laughter, happiness, joy, and healing. I like it. A good old belly laugh. That's in your present. I like it. We're coming into your season soon enough, too. Yeah, I'm filming this before your season, but we're coming into it quickly. Show me what I need to see. Yeah, we got to get out of that unforgiving whatever. No wonder somebody's stuck. Hopeful, inspired, optimistic, and success. I like this. This would be the star in tarot to me, you know, which is like my favorite card. Something maybe inspiring, you know, with this laughter, being optimistic, somebody's happy, hopeful. Okay, I like it. I like it. Whoops. Uh-oh. Hold on. Time. Hope, fear, challenge, and homework column. Delay, procrastination, and too busy. Something about TikTok. Time's ticking. And envy. Resentful, competitive, discontent. This would definitely be the devil card in tarot for me. That's where we're starting with. No surprise here, really, as a reader, because all the signs have been feeling it. In a big way, too. Some of them, yeah. All right, so anywho, we're going to get more of the tea before we get into the tarot. Show me. I would take that, but it wasn't really out far enough. I don't know. I'm being choosy, I suppose. Show me what I need to see. Universe, spirit, guides. Talk to me. Talk to us, right? Hi, everybody. Popping in and out. Talk to us. Yeah, somebody feels trapped with this unforgiveness, stuck, no options thing. And then we got envy on this end with resentful, competitive, and discontent. So I'm pretty sure right off the bat, it's going to be the devil energy that's feeling stuck and trapped, because that's what that energy is. But then the laughter, the happiness, and joy and healing is coming in somehow, some way. It could be a very dual energy. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, we'll just have to go with the flow here and see what comes out, eh? Show me. In particular, maybe I should have taken that one card sticking out. Show me. There. Yeah, when I get a bunch, I take the one on the table first. Dirty deeds. Somebody feels trapped. Somebody do you dirty, Aries? Or do them, you know? Somebody did somebody dirty. Unforgiving. That's not a good way to be, right? When we heal and we let it out and we cry it out, we get angry, we, punch, scream, kick, whatever. Forgiving is like the last part of healing. Because technically, it's the hardest part, right? Sometimes some of these enemies of ours, it's we just can't fathom forgiving them, but that's where we need to that's what we need to do. It takes time for that. Get through the healing and the muck first. You don't have to necessarily go, right for the unforgiveness, because that's the hard part, right? Lore, something about those stories going round and round, folklore, laughter, happiness, joy, healing. Somebody's doing somebody dirty with the stories. Somebody's happiness, maybe. Somebody's being optimistic and hopeful. There is success in that card, so I think that's the hopeful and optimistic part. I mean, the success is the hope and the optimistic. Did I say that right? I hope I did. Overwhelmed? Somebody could be. This is crowning you for the next few weeks. Somebody is. And we're being optimistic. Okay, I see. Very nice. Not getting into that angry mode because we're overwhelmed. We're being hopeful. Okay, prepare for the best, hope for the best. I mean, what is that? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, or whatever that is, kind of thing. That could be. Diligence, time, yeah, something that you're always working on in the back of your mind, right? You're always mindful of, of whatever it is that we need to work on. Somebody's procrastinating, however, to talk. They're putting things off, you know. Somebody, they keep saying like they're too busy or they don't have time. You can see it in the bottom here. It's kind of funny. Yeah, diligence. It takes diligence. Something about that procrastination. Show me. My kitty's flipping out. I don't know if you can hear him. Scratching his claws over here. He thinks he's Superman right now, running around. Whoops. All right. Hold on. No good intentions whatsoever. Oh, and look what's right above it. Can't make that up. Envy, no good intentions whatsoever. Hate. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's a choice, right? People want to stay in that resenting something or someone or things or whatever. It's not a good place, right? We just got done saying this kind of thing. I'm going to start with my Wild Unknown Tarot deck this week. Something diligence, procrastination, delay. Somebody's putting something off, or saying they're putting it off, but I think it's really procrastination. Is somebody kind of lazy out there? Sorry. Cards down. You got Justice reversed, Five of Swords reversed. Oh boy, Empress reversed. What's going on, Aries? Daughter of Swords. Something's unjustified with these dirty deeds in the past. Somebody did you dirty. They left somebody's stuck. They have no options. They're just very unforgiving. Well, get away from it. Stop it. Start healing. Start getting over it. It's a choice. Period. No more excuses and delays. Five of Swords down, lures, stories. Somebody was slandering somebody's, maybe they were trying to ruin their reputation or some shit. I hate it when that happens because that happened to me. Yeah, trying to get through that cruelty and the brutality of things and the way people really are and can be, you know, trying to find happiness and healing in that, that's a blessing right there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Empress reverse, this is crowning you. Yeah, this is it could be poverty mindset, could be poverty, could be lack of, blocked chakras. Somebody doesn't feel Empress right now. They're overwhelmed. Somebody's being hopeful though. However, I like it. Keep on keeping on with that, little mustard seed, because that seed of faith right there and that seed of hope, let me tell you, that little seed of hope is the whole entire reason why I'm sitting here in front of this camera right now, because I almost didn't make it. And I don't mean just in one way either. I wasn't supposed to make it in this world in many ways. And I fought through. Well, in a way, I was supposed to fight through it because I did make it, but you know what I mean. Daughter of Swords, somebody standing in their truth, hope, fear, challenge, and homework with diligence, and too busy, procrastination, and delay. Somebody Somebody's trying to make excuses and still stand in the truth. I don't know how that's going to fit with you. It may not. Six of Cups. Envy. No good intentions whatsoever. Wow, this is back from childhood. Who is this person you've known forever? Look at the roots of the situation. Mm-hmm. Who is that you've known forever? You have a lot of memories with, or something. Somebody's very hateful, resentful. It could have to do with competition, some sort of a competitive thing, you know, people being competitive. The Mad Hatter's Tea Party is coming to a halt, or that's what happened in the past. Somebody did you dirty. Wasn't very cool. Kind of pissed you off, maybe. The injustice or imbalance of it. Maybe it just hurt, if anything. Yeah. Party's over somehow. Last call, whatever that is. I feel like somebody is a musician in the spotlight and in the competitive zone. You know, we have a lot of artists on my channel, musicians, artists. I met a couple authors too, and both of those authors were from a completely different area. It's kind of cool. Three of Wands down. Laughter, healing, joy. Yeah, whatever this is, whatever the stories are about, whatever that slander, lies, word witchery can be. It could be, like pushing somebody out of a situation or making them feel left out of a situation. You know that it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, I feel like you've already come to that, like, knowledge of it. You already know, right? You're kind of trying to get out of your head about it, because right here it says overwhelmed, right above it, but it's about clarity. This is dead center in the reading. Success, optimistic, and inspired right over it. I think we're being hopeful for that. Yeah, just keep on keeping on. Breathe is what it is. I told a couple other people, you know, as humans, we're bad breathers. We need to breathe deeper and longer. You know, I'm still practicing on my it's diligence. It's something you always do. You know, you just always kind of work on as you're doing your day or night or whatever. Mother of Wands down, Daughter of Swords. Could this be a mother daughter or a father son or you know, however, whatever? I feel like this one is very bitter. I almost feel the Queen of Swords energy in this wand. Um, yeah, it's about bossing up. It's about, you know, keeping it, you know, diligence, always doing it, right? Something about time and procrastination. I don't think this Mother of Wands is very happy with the excuses or something. I'm not sure. Ten of Wands down is dealing with the storms from from the memories, wherever or however that is. Whoever has no good intentions whatsoever. Isn't that nice? That's nice. I hope this literally isn't a mom or dad. Because it's been coming out in so many different readings. It's crazy. You know? This envious, jealous type vibe, the diabolical vibe that I pick up a lot on, um, they always go for the weak. They always go for the innocent, right? You notice that in the Epstein files. They go for the babies, the children, you know, the mentally weak, the spiritually weak, you know, wherever they can get in, that energy will get in. It's just a very nasty, dark energy. I don't even want to get into it because it's going to tick me off and it's going to make me sad and angry and everything else again. So, anywho, Four of Cups down with dirty deeds. Somebody doesn't want to think about it. They're trapped. They're unforgiving. Is over. Well, if you don't deal with it, you're going to stay trapped for whoever that is. You need to deal with these things, right? We need to let it out or heal from it or whatever you need to do. Let it go, you know? Stop being angry over spilled milk, right? Look at how many things you didn't think you were going to survive through, and you did already, you know? And also, wherever you are right now in life, you once wished to be in that spot. See? So your manifestations come true. You just got to keep the diligence, you got to keep the faith, the hope, but you got to put work into it as well. It doesn't come from nowhere, right? Anyway, it's about happiness, joy, and healing. And a good old belly laugh. A good old belly laugh, right? I haven't laughed that hard where my stomach or cheeks hurt. I don't even know how long. That's living, you know, right there. Those moments right there. Daughter of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles reversed. We have two daughters, so could this be a son or daughter in the family? It is possible. This one's reflecting. This one is, I feel like they're giving messages, they're giving stories, they're giving excuses, something about that. You know it's not going anywhere, right? There's no harvest in this card, right? It was dried up mud, right? Ten of Pentacles down is broken family dynamic. You know, we got Eight of Swords down in the middle, and then we got Empress down, right? Somebody's being hopeful around the family dynamic. That's, you know, and people are feeling overwhelmed. They're searching for clarity. Yeah, this person I have a feeling is a massive narcissist. We have the Five of Swords here. 5, 7s, and possibly 9s are my mental health and disorder cards. So, you know, I think they're playing on your emotions, you know, playing on your heartstrings, you know, something like that. Hanged Man, it's sacrificial, but I feel like you're waiting. Some of you are waiting. What are you waiting on? Right? Diligence is always putting the work into it. It's an always thing. So this one doesn't want to boss up. This Mother of Wands, however, it could be, there are awakenings. You could be coming into some truths here, as time ticks, right? Could be like an enlightenment kind of truth. Learning about a situation, maybe. One more and we can move on, please. Oops. The Emperor down. We got Empress and Emperor both down. Yeah. And the Lovers down. Wow. Okay. This is an off union. It's a choice. This could be an ex. Right? Possibly. Or somebody in the family that we don't talk to anymore or don't care about anymore or something like that. I don't know. But somebody, I do feel a narcissist. I feel like they're power hungry, out of control. Um, abuse of authority and all of that. On the other hand, somebody isn't bossing up. They need to take control, right? No good intentions whatsoever. Very discontent, resentful, disrespectful, I hear, for somebody out there. Very hateful and envious. Yeah, I don't like this energy. Obviously, whatever. Eight of Swords, yeah, trapped. Look, I'm going to show you. Just changed decks. This is my Rider Waite deck. First one out, trapped. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, in your head. Somebody did you dirty. You can't stop thinking about it. The injustice and the unfairness, right? Whatever that is. You gotta don't let it bring you down. Everything is a choice. Everything is intent. You have to make up your mind, okay, I'm going to stop thinking about this because we can self-sabotage things. And then it gets worse, and then it's just a rabbit hole, Show me what I need to see. Eight of Pentacles down. Strength card down. Yeah. These are very hard lessons to learn. Some people are never going to learn. And that's first and foremost in that card. They're not mastering their lessons, right? This is about self-mastery as well as someone's craft, their work. But, when it's, yeah. Strength down, somebody could be very timid, very nervous, scared, right? Empress down. People may not like this Empress, or maybe we're refusing the Empress, or whatever that is. Somebody's overwhelmed with this and still trying to be hopeful. All right, if you're dealing with a serious ass narcissist, like I'm talking about here, then you need to go do some research about behavioral therapy and narcissism. The lady who helped me back in the day, there's several out there, obviously, but the lady that I had on YouTube, she's on TikTok and Instagram too, I'm pretty sure, but her name is Dr. Romani. She's amazing. I think of ramen noodles with an I. And I look her up on YouTube. She's good. Because I still to this day disassociate. I was diagnosed with CPTSD from the mental abuse I went through with narcissistic abuse, right? And CPTSD is when things happen hundreds or even thousands of times. It's complex post-traumatic stress disorder, see? So, um, yeah, I don't want to disassociate now that I just said that, but somebody might need to research that for their own benefit, for their own healing. It teaches you how to handle certain situations and what to say or not to say, or, she's fantastic. I really dug it when I found her channel because it really helped me. I don't know. It's a choice, you know. Things are coming out. Yeah, I feel like you're coming into this information, the moon reversed. I feel like you're being enlightened with this information somehow about the roots of the problem and how envious and um ugly that energy is. No good intentions whatsoever. Mm. Somebody somebody's a bad seed in this family, and they're not very nice to you. I hate to say it, and even Romani is going to say the same thing. You're going to have to get to a point where you say bye-bye for good, because narcissistic energies don't change. I can say it. It just continues, 5 of Pentacles, ostracized from the family, feeling left out. I felt that in the 5 of Swords as well, you know. Fives are very combative. The crutches, somebody might be in a disabling situation, right? Being left out into the cold, feelings hurt, that kind of thing. 8 of Swords, being trapped of dirty deeds. People suck in this world with their dirty deeds, 4 of Wands, Ace of Swords down, 3 of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Sun. Ding, 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 ding with the 3 of Wands. I like it. This is family. This is around the home. It's going nowhere, right? People are not learning their lessons. Some of them will never change. You don't have to deal with that abusive cruelty or whatever it may be towards you, right? You don't have to take on their energies, you know. Dead center in the reading. Trapped, yeah. But see, this is getting out of it. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that 8 of Swords being trapped in your head, getting out of the lies, getting out of the chaos and confusion. It's dead center in the reading. And staying hopeful, Aries. Be inspired. Be optimistic. There's success around this. Okay? That's crowning you. So know it. Right? Here's the other 3 of Wands, waiting for your harvest, waiting for your Amazon packages to arrive from that ship. Right? Hope, fear, challenge, and homework is, but you have to be diligent in the work. Time's ticking. Somebody keeps making excuses. Hope, fear, challenge, and homework. If you're not going to put the work in, you don't get the results. Well, we know this. So if people know this, I know it's not always easy to heal. I know it's not always easy to forgive, forget, get over the resentment, the vengeful, spiteful strife. I get it. I went through it, but it's something that you stick with and you always work on. Queen of Cups. Envious. Somebody knows. This person's very intuitive, male or female, dealing with the storms. I feel like this Queen of Cups, um, I guess I take it in 2 ways. All right. One way, Queen of Cups has no good intentions whatsoever, dealing with the heavy situations. And on the other hand, if that isn't it, then maybe this person who is a sweetheart, male or female, is dealing with the storms. Whatever it is, it's about breaking those ancestral curses, those narcissistic behaviors, which are learned behaviors. See, when people aren't held accountability for their disrespect when it happens, and they keep getting away with it, their manipulations get, you know, more and more and more manipulative. It's crazy. It is. It's crazy. It's that's the personality disorder of it, narcissism. Yeah, a lot of things are being illuminated here. A lot of things, all these dirty deeds, that have happened, feeling trapped. I understand you're feeling really overwhelmed right now, but please know that the sun is here. It brings in healing, hope, it's growth, it's expansion, it's popularity. It's really a good card. It raises this up a notch as well because it's Trump, right? So that's really good to have with this, because it seems very difficult for someone at the very least, you know. Wait, I'm gonna put this. Okay, I didn't want to mix them up. So we have Knight of Cups with the Daughter of Pentacles. We have Temperance down with Ten of Pentacles down. So, yeah, you can see how these two are very much not looking in the same direction of each other. I don't think these two are getting along very well. The narcissist, I assume in this case, will be the one that needs to apologize, right? But don't count on it. And if you do hear it, it's BS. I'll say it right now. Save you some time. But the whole messaging and we want to talk and whatever, you know, I just don't know how it's going to go for you if you decide to make that phone call and talk to somebody that, I don't think that person on the other end is in a very good mindset, right? Very unhealed, very reckless. Somebody's a big fat liar. Narcissists are, right? Knock the family dynamic off. Somebody's very, very overwhelmed. They're just trying to be hopeful and optimistic, right? Here, there's no hope. There's hope. Thank God. Somebody doesn't want to help somebody out in the family or something. It's probably a tactic that the narc is using somehow, keeping the upper hand over you, keeping you oppressed and suppressed or some shit. I hate how it's relentless with them. It'll never stop the gains. 6 of Wands, Emperor down. People know how abusive this is, or whatever. The abuse of the authority, whatever, however that works. There is a victory here, however, somehow, some way. Somebody needs to boss up. Somebody has no good intentions. This Emperor, narcissistic, they're like power hungry, power control, you know. I feel like it's, you walk on eggshells maybe around these people or person. Ugh. Yeah. It's best not to communicate with narcissists. But on the other hand, it's about things coming to a stop, right? Whatever. However that is. I'm going to do this again with my familiar tarot. Show me what I need to see. Hi, everybody. Popping in and out. Queen of Swords. Three of Swords reversed. Yep. Dirty deeds. Somebody feels trapped. It's not fair. Queen of Cups is crowning you. That's ding, 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 ding right there. All right, so back to the Queen of Swords over here with the injustice. Somebody's just, you know, I feel like in this case, to be quite honest, I feel like this Queen of Swords is quite the bee, you know, keeping you trapped. Ding, 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 with the Eight of Swords right next to it. Dirty deeds. They're doing it on purpose. This person is not nice. Cunning, that's how they roll, you know? A lot of pain, a lot of betrayals. It happened a while ago. It's still lingering. They're going to stick with it because technically they don't know how to let things go. They have to stick with the past, right? Lore right over this with tales and possibly stories or what. Don't forget to have a big belly laugh through this because this is, you know, really hurtful. And that's really healing. And I see that you'll find yourself actually, which is good because it might take some tension out of, you know, the air or what, you know. Second Queen of Cups here is definitely hopeful and overwhelmed. This person could be, you know, psychic, possibly, definitely a water sign. Well, not definitely, but could definitely be. Somebody's overwhelmed and staying hopeful in that successful mind energy is the way to be right now. Seven of Wands down. Somebody doesn't really feel like they have a chance against this person. They feel weak. They don't really have, they, you know, it's like somebody's tired of the excuses. And I feel like somebody just really doesn't have, they don't have the advantage here, so, however it is, right? I need a bunch, please, Spirit. All right. Ace of Swords again. Ding, 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 ding. Five of Cups down. Two of Wands. Eight of Swords down. Ding, 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 ding. This is 3 times this has shown up at the table. And this is getting out of being trapped. Getting out of your head. Not being overwhelmed anymore. Right? That's what that is. That's dead center in the reading. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Seven of Wands down. Yeah, whole fear, challenge, and homework is, you know, because we don't feel like we have the advantage, right? There's a lot of toxicity. There's a lot of lies. There was, you know, a lot of mental health issues, a lot of things that people need to be diligent on and work on, right? Ace of Swords is the truth. It is clarity. It's clear how hateful and envious this person is. It more than likely is even publicly recognized, you know, because they're so bitter or whatever, you know. You're starting to come into like more and more enlightenment, you know, as time ticks, you know. Somebody could be, you know, very regretful. I'm sorry, you got to let that go. I don't know if it's guilt, regret, shame. You know, narcissists will make you feel like you should feel shame. Nobody should feel shame. You know? I don't know if that's you, but we're all equals in my book. These narcissists, if anything, these narcissists are lower than you. You know? Two of Wands, making plans for the future, trying to make light of it, trying to figure it out. Yeah. There is clarity here for you, dead center in the reading. It's coming, you know. It may not happen overnight. It may happen, you know, slowly, but it's going to be like, you know, I feel like it's coming, which is probably good to know. The Emperor, the Empress. Ding, 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 ding. This one's upright. Diligence, time, too busy, procrastination, and delay. Mother of Wands over here, reversed with Three of Wands. Yeah. I feel like this Empress, witch, Jezebel is a dark witch, period, male or female. Jezebel's a female energy, but it doesn't matter if it's in a male or not. I feel like you just want to move on underneath it all. You just want to be happy. You know, unfortunately, this is what happens when we deal with narcissists, or they're in the family, or, you know, it's very unfortunate, but it's happening all over the earth. You know, the stuff is being highlighted because it is the problem with the world. Narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, and sadists. And if we don't put it out into the light, like the Epstein files, if we can't take that truth, the ultimate truth of how big it really is and how it affects everyone in such a huge way, and everything is mind-blowing, right? That's overwhelming in itself. But if we don't come to this absolute truth of what's going on, it'll never be dissipated. It'll never go away. It'll never, you know, right now the light's on them. They're being shown. They're scared right now, the dark, right? It seems like the world's getting worse. It's not getting worse. It's always been, unfortunately. We just need to open our eyes and see how bad it really is, right? And as Gaia ticks and turns and, you know, taking over her planet again, it's going to be dispersed. And that's how the universe works. It's energy, period. You know? Show me what I need to see. This person that's envious, they're going to be on this planet. They've probably been on it since day one. Oops. Ten of Swords, yeah. It's painful. It is, it does. It's about ruin. You know, rock bottom. You know, dealing with the storms. Hard. Somebody has no good intentions whatsoever, and that's the truth. And you need to know it. This sucks. I don't like this. I don't know whose situation this is, or who this reading is for, but I feel for you. Six of Wands again. This one's reversed. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, there's no victory here. It's not about victory. It's about love, or lack thereof. There's a lot of things that we're coming into, Aries. A lot of realizations, epiphanies, maybe even. I feel the Tower and that Sun, but only because these realizations are so big. That's the overwhelming part of it, or something. All right, let's move on here. We got the Fool reversed, Knave of Pentacles reversed, the Lovers again reversed. Ding, 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 ding. This is definitely an ex or a choice relationship we don't care for, you know? And it could be both ways, it seems, apparently. And then we have the High Priestess, right on. 4 cups down. Let it go. Somehow. I feel like some people could be doing a lot of crying right now because it hurts, being emotional release. Could be emotional release in that card, which is funny because I never really got that out of that card before. But yeah, 4 cups down. So anywho, the Fool down here, somebody's not so innocent after all, right? But this is about, maybe being a little timid or scared, right? Or whatever, maybe not wanting to take a risk or being afraid. This is about the talk, the let's go have a coffee, or we need, something about that. And talk about the stories, and what there might even be some laughter going on, right? Or something like that. But ultimately it's about the messages and the spell work to end, right? And heal, because it is so completely out of balance. This person is very, very, very I mean, it's depending on all of you. I mean, I'm getting a lot of different scattered, just, but it's about clarity, coming into clarity. We know we don't care for this person. This is the Lover's card reversed. Diligence, though, however, hope, fear, challenge, and homework, it's not going anywhere. That it's not, the time's ticking, something about that, and something, High Priestess. It's abusive deep down, maybe. This person's connected with Source. They have some knowledge here under their belt. It's painful. And male or female, I don't care. It's painful, but the truth is here. Somebody is envious, hateful, resentful, competitive, discontent. They're not happy with their life, kind of thing. All right. I'm going to move it on. Give you a familiar oracle now after my familiar tarot. Oops. All right. I guess we got a card already. The Brownie and Protection. The Brownie. I think I like this card. I think I remember this card. I haven't seen this in a while, but don't forget to flip and flop should you need to. Alrighty. Oops. I can't really see it. Danger lurks in the darkest shadows as outside forces require you to be on your guard right now. Creaky floorboards, spooky sounds, and ghostly whispers are not comforting nighttime companions, and vulnerability to the actions of others has left you feeling threatened. Allow me to accompany you as you retreat within to preserve all that you hold dear. As guardian of your hearth and home, invite me across your threshold to protect all that is sacred to you. As I employ a little brownie magic in a non-confrontational manner, I offer to be eternally helpful if you allow me to go quietly about my business. As I watch over the burning fire and complete unfinished tasks in the dead of night, you can rest in your bed safely assured while I create protective barriers to drive away unwelcome visitors and safeguard your secrets. However, treat me badly or try to assist me, and I will leave or turn into a malicious Bogart. And there's a side note here. Use the pentagram symbol for protection. Keep your secrets close to your chest. Work as a solitary. Guard yourself against negative energies Add safety precautions to your home. Time to defend your honor and your beliefs, Aries. Put family protection first, and you are safe. Know that if anybody wasn't sure if you were kind of feeling unsafe, you are in fact safe. That may be rest assured right there for somebody. Interesting. Interesting. Show me what I need to see. All right. I'm taking the one on the bottom. Spell and manifestation. Yeah, narcissists, they're good at spells, I'll tell you that. You know, words are spells. Oh yeah, people dig it. Oh, I can't see it again. Hold on. This is a good time for you to work spells, for magic abounds. Your manifestation abilities are heightened, and a magical energy runs through all that you put your focus on. Your gift at this moment in time to bring about you what you desire is strong as your understanding of the elements, is strong as is your understanding of the elements, herbs, and candle magic. But remember to be careful what you wish for, as you could be blind to any unseen factors. Hold on a minute. I'm having a hard time reading this. I'm sorry. What the heck am I now? But remember to be careful what you wish for, as you could be blind to any unseen factors if the action you take is not for the highest good. Manifestation asks you to heed the threefold law, and to remember that whatever you send out comes back. Be transparent about your wishes and take into consideration any consequences that may occur. Live accordingly in harmony with a level of consciousness that will harm none, and be aware of your thoughts and words at every moment. Master this, and you will be in a position to receive all that you ask for. Side note, you have the Midas touch right now. Remember to use clarity when visualizing your desires. For positive affirmations to ensure the outcome you wish for, your spells are working. Study and follow the threefold law. Yeah, what you put out comes back in threes. So if you don't learn your lesson and you keep doing it, then that's 3 more times karma. Then it's 3 more times karma. And it just keeps on building until you get it. So we want you to get it. You know? All right, what are we on here? 5330. Hi, everybody. Ace of Diamonds. Yeah, this was very unfortunate, but you have a chance to avert the evil spell. That's what that is. You can avert the evil spells. Very unfortunate card again, but a happy life around you, you know, after very unfortunate situations. It's funny how these cards come out. And really, I couldn't make this up if I tried. You could read me like a book. I can't lie. Oh my God. I am so easy to spot. Oh, look, you have like the biggest trump card in the deck. 7 of Diamonds, the Flames. Right on, Aries, after all this. This is very, very fortunate. Very, very good luck. It neutralizes all of the cards here that are bad and increases the lucky ones. So good for you after all this. Luck is on your side after all through this BS. Yeah, there is surprises around every corner, man. You know, a lot of these things are shocking. A lot of these things are big, you know, but there is some sort of surprise or something, and I don't know what that means. So the sun's here. Show me one more. We will close this out. Thank you. Yeah. It's the King of Hearts. It's friendly disposition. Yeah. I feel like some of you may find some new friends that very well could warm into a loving relationship, you know, a really close relationship, one that matters for you, not one that's so hateful and envious and disrespectful, right? This is the, you know, so that's always good to know as well. Yeah. There's a lot here, Aries. Wow, you're going through it too. Everyone is right now. It's unbelievable. Anywho, yeah, be cool, be kind, be patient, and just be a good human. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the newer viewers and subscribers. Thank you to all the returning watchers as well. So I'll be back soon till we meet again.